Well, the quarter panel is looking really good. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Got some primer on the rocker panel here, sanded it down. Rocker panel's looking good. I'm very happy with how it's all turning out. I've gone ahead and I've removed my sunroof, started sanding the rest of the body down. Started sanding on the trunk, and I gotta get a little more in this area. Started sanding the quarter panel down and that door. So pretty much the plan now is I'm getting ready for primer. Let's see, I need to do a little bit more Bondo work, and then I'm ready for primer. So getting the roof sanded down, 80 grit. The roof was painted, here's some. The roof was painted in rattle can, and you can see as I'm sanding it, it flakes off and gums up my sanding discs. So getting that spray paint off is the most important. Can't put primer over spray paint, so trying to get this windshield out now, and I shattered it, but it was already cracked to begin with, so I was gonna replace it anyway, and all the rubber seal was destroyed on this windshield, so it was very loose. So I just started wiggling on it and pushing on it, and it just spider webbed over here. But I'm gonna put some safety glasses on, go ahead and pull the rest of the windshield out. That way I can get up in these grooves on the inside here where it needs to be sanded. So, gonna go ahead and pull the windshield out, keep on sanding. So today's goal is gonna be sand the whole car in 80 grit, then 180, 220, and then all the way up to 320. So if I can get the car sanded in 320 today, from the windshield back is ready for primer. I don't have the fenders or the hood ready. I'm gonna do those separately because I do also want to primer this frame rail here, and I want to primer the engine bay. I want to pull the motor, shave the engine bay, do all that kind of stuff, but that's gonna be after I primer the body. And when the engine bay's ready and everything's primered, we'll shoot a blue. I found a blue that I like that looks kind of like this. It's more like this light blue over here, so we'll see how she looks. Keep on sanding. Okay, so I'm inside the car. Got my safety glasses on. I'm filthy. Oh my god. Oh god, I look terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and do this movie car style. So it's all glued at the bottom still. That's the biggest problem here. Ooh, this is dangerous. So much glass is going into the car right now. Reposition. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. Wow. Jeez. Okay, come down. I'm covered in glass now. I gotta get out of the car and not slice myself. Jesus. I don't even think you can see it. Oh, I guess the camera's picking it up. There's fucking glass everywhere, man. I should have had the guy pull the windshield for me, but I wanted to keep it in because I wanted to be able to drive the car. So, let's see if I can get my hand on here without slicing myself. Oh yeah. It's just stuck down on the bottom. All right, I gotta put the camera down and play with this. All right, so I have the car in my little makeshift paint booth. I'm getting ready to go ahead and spray some primer. I'm gonna test it on the jams first, and if everything goes well, I might actually primer the whole body right now. So I'm gonna do the cowl right here, and then down the door jams. I'm gonna do the sunroof jam right now. I'm worried that the temperature is an issue. It's 60 degrees, 65 degrees in here right now, and my activator is for 70 to 80 degrees. So we might have issues. Hopefully we don't get any fish eyes. I've cleaned it a lot. Hopefully it's as clean as it's gonna get, and hopefully it turns out okay. So over here, I've already gone ahead and started mixing up my primer using Summit Racing 2K. And then I got my gun right here sitting on a little holder. So it's already mixed up, ready to go. Gonna go ahead and spray it and see how it turns out. Okay, so the car is all primered. Unfortunately, I didn't film any of the process. So the last clip you saw was I had the primer mixed up, ready to spray. I was getting ready to do it. I was all excited. I ended up being in the garage for about 4 hours straight, just fighting my spray gun wasn't spraying, my air compressor wasn't keeping up. It was just a whole mix. It was too cold in the garage, and so I was really stressed out. I didn't film anything. So the next day I went and got a new spray gun, and I mixed up another batch, and it was doing the same thing. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I'm not a painter. I don't paint. I worked in a body shop, so I know enough to get me into some trouble. But so unfortunately, I wasted more money on a new paint gun, and it still wasn't helping. So what I ended up doing was I called some of my buddies. He says, "Yo, man, that stuff's way too thick. You need to run thinner through it." Because I was just mixing it straight with activator. So he says, "No, man, you need to reduce that a lot. Like, that's just way too thick." So I reduced it 4 to 1 to 1. So it was like 4 parts primer, 1 part activator, 1 part reducer. And it sprayed perfect. I had my buddy over, we were just jamming it, and the jams turned out perfect. I was like, fuck it, like, let's just spray the whole thing, and here we go. So I did the whole chassis, I guess you could say. I need to remove the engine next and prep the engine bay, primer the engine bay. So here it is. Let's see if I can get this door open. I got the car up on a jack right now, but got all the jams. So this was actually the jam I repaired. Can you tell? I can tell. As I look at it all day, every day. But what do you guys think? Not too shabby. So the car's already been blocked, 320. I've already blocked the primer. So I can see my highs and lows. I can see what I need to focus on a little bit. You can kind of see it's like a little bit of peppering there, but it's hardly even noticeable. So I'm only blocking with 320, and it's coming out this straight. So I'm really excited. Here's the rear panel where the tail lights go and the back bumper. Everything looking good. You can't really see where the repair was. I do need to do some sanding right here. That I forgot to sand the Bondo right here, and I'd already had everything mixed up, and I was spraying. I opened the trunk, and I was like, oh, darn it, I forgot to sand that. So anyway, I got to sand that, and the car will get primered again before its body color. But anyways, so right now I'm working on this fender. I got it on, I got bolts in it. I went ahead and ran a tap through every hole just to make sure that they're all cleaned out and good. Just like every other 240 in the world, where's my finger? Every other 240 in the world, this whole frame rail pinch weld is always folded up and mangled, so I had to straighten all that out. And I'm just working on straightening this fender right now. It sits a little high. I've already, oh yeah, you can definitely see there. I've already started bending on it and adjusting on it, trying to get it to line up with the rest of the body lines. Once I get that lined up, I'll start tackling all these dents, and then there's a crack right here I'll have to weld up. This fender's definitely going to be challenging. A lot of dents, a lot of hammer and dolly work going to go into this, and hopefully minimal Bondo. I'm trying to keep this car very, very good looking with minimal Bondo. So that's where we're at. Let's see, I guess so I'm gonna open this door for you. Show you, the car's way up in the air right now, so got this jam all cleaned up, primered, everything's looking good. I've even got the door, the underside of the door, all the inside of the jam. It's all filthy because I was wet sanding it with Scotch-Brite pretty much. Blocked the car and then Scotch-Brite at the door jambs. So this is where I'm at. Got fenders, hood, front bumper, rear bumper, and then I have this garnish panel right here that goes under the taillights. So those are the only pieces I have left that I need to prep, straighten, bodywork, and primer. I gotta pull the motor out, bodywork and primer the engine bay. I'm gonna weld up these holes. Somebody had done an intercooler install at one point. They did a real good job fucking it all up. So I get to fix all that. I got some 12 gauge metal probably. Yeah. That's where I'm at. This is temporary. I just needed to drive it around at night. I need to get the headlight eyelids and get the headlights working, and then yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm overwhelmed. It's a lot of work, but I'm slowly chipping away at it, and it's coming out good. I'm really excited with how this is coming, especially from what it looked like to begin with. I mean, the quarter panel and the door jamb just completely destroyed, and then I decided to cut it all off. So it's definitely come a long way. I'm super excited. We will see where I go next with it, because I'm not excited about pulling this motor. I've been kind of putting it off. I like that the car runs and drives and I can move it around, and it's not a anchor sitting in my garage like that one. Even though that one runs and drives, but it ain't got no doors, it ain't got no windshield, so just a dead weight in the garage. So just slowly picking away at it. Gonna pull the motor, primer the engine bay. Once the engine bay is primered and the hood and fenders are primered, I will body color paint the engine bay, and that'll be my test to see if I can paint blue properly. See if I can actually paint color and make it come out good and not have too many texture on it, because the primer was pretty textured by the end of it. So I will paint the engine bay. If the engine bay comes out good, I'll do the door jambs, I'll do the trunk jamb, and then from there I will put the hood, the fenders on, close the trunk, close the doors, and paint the whole thing blue in one go. So the whole thing will be blue inside and out. Should look good.